What if I told you? The most famous poster in American history, 12 million copies sold, was taken by a woman who almost didn't show up that day? What if I told you that behind that iconic sunlit smile was a woman trying to break free from being seen as just a pretty face? What if I told you that same woman delivered one of the most raw and courageous performances of her life? Not on a Hollywood set but in a hospital room fighting to survive. That was Farrah Fawcett. And if you think you know her story, you don't, not the real one. Born February 2, 1947 in Corpus Christi, Texas, to a simple oil field contractor's family, Farrah was named by her mother simply because it sounded right with their last name. The Farrah Fawcett Foundation. Nobody was planning a legend. But legends don't wait for plans. She was so naturally striking that she held the title of Most Beautiful Student at her high school, for all 4 years running. The Farrah Fawcett Foundation, and yet she enrolled at the University of Texas to study microbiology. She wanted to be a scientist. Fate, as it always does, had completely different ideas. A Hollywood publicist spotted her photograph. One phone call. One flight to California. And the rest, as they say, became history. On September 22, 1976, Farrah debuted as Jill Monroe in Charlie's Angels. The critics had a dimmer view, but the public loved it, and the three women became an overnight sensation. The Farrah Fawcett Foundation. Then came the poster. That smile. That hair. That red bathing suit. 12 million copies sold. The Farrah Fawcett Foundation. 12 million. Her face wasn't just on walls. It defined walls. It defined an entire decade. But here's the part one personally finds so important, and so heartbreaking at the same time. The very thing that made her famous was the very thing she spent the rest of her career fighting against. Fawcett shocked the entire industry when she walked away from guaranteed success as a television sex symbol and instead pursued serious roles against type in films like The Burning Bed and Extremities. Biography. The industry laughed. Producers doubted. A lawsuit followed. And she still didn't go back. She fought. Role by role. Year by year. And she won. Then in 2006, life handed her its hardest scene. Cancer. A rare, stigmatized cancer that nobody wanted to talk about publicly. And what did Farrah do? He put it on camera. By letting cameras capture her most vulnerable moments, Farrah Fawcett turned her cancer battle into a voice heard around the world. Her 2009 documentary Farrah's Story reached millions and earned her a posthumous Emmy nomination, not for acting but for producing. In 2026, her Charlie's Angels co-stars reunited to honor her legacy, reminding everyone that her presence still lingers. Her foundation continues funding cancer research, her iconic image lives in the Smithsonian, and her story continues to move hearts. She once said she became famous before mastering her craft. But by the end she truly had. Rest easy, Farrah. The world finally sees all of you.